Hello everyone, welcome to the quick and easy tech. Today we're going to talk about part 8, how to insert row count and file names for Excel, TXT file and CSV files. So we have Excel, text and CSV files in SQL Server table, and after we load them after we load them to the SSIS pack, and we're going to do it in SSIS package. After we load them to SQL Server, we're going to load the name and the row count. So let's just get started. So here I have files. I have multiple files here. I got 4 text files, and I have 3 Excel files, and then I have 4 CSV files, and each file contains has 3 rows and 4 columns. I have first name, I have ID, first name, last name, and state. The same thing with the Excel file. I have first name, I have ID, first name, last name, and state. CSV file the same way. So what do I have to go here? So let's just select a table. Select DBO customer. Let me refresh it. Okay. So I have a table. I already created a table in our SQL Server database. ID, first name, last name, and state. So I want to load those files to SQL Server table using SSIS package, and then I want to create another table has only the name of the files, and then how many rows in each file. How can I do that? Let's go back to Visual Studio, and then we have to create a new package. If you already have the solution, right click on SSIS packages, create a new solution, create a new package. So now every time, since we are loading the files from flat file and Excel file, so we have 3 different files, 3 different extensions. We have TXT, Excel, and CSV files. So go back to Visual Studio. We're going to drag and drop data flow task 3 times. 1 for the TXT file, 1 for the CSV, 1 for the CSV, and 1 for the Excel file. Just maximize it a little bit, zoom in. So we're gonna just rename it data flow task. Let's say that customers. Let's get the extension TXT files. That's for the TXT files, and then this. Sorry, just break the connection. Okay. And then for the second one is gonna be, we're gonna rename it to data flow task with the CSV files, and the third one will be for the Excel file. We're just going to rename it again, data flow task Excel files. Okay, so now let's double click on data flow task for the TXT file, text files. So every time you want to load files from flat file to the SQL Server destination, we have to get the flat file source, drag and drop, and then since we are loading it to the SQL Server table, so we need to get the OLEDB destination, drag and drop here. Zoom in a little bit, and then double click on flat file source to configure it, and then we're going to create a new connection. We're going to navigate to the file, click new, and then for the connection manager name, we're just going to rename it. We're going to rename it TXT connection, and then we're going to browse. We're going to navigate to the file. So we got 4 text files. Click on one of them. Do we have a column names in the first row? Yes, we have. the first column names is going to be in the first row. Back again, click on, okay, so it's we have to set the format, it's delimited. So we have a columns, advanced, you can change the data type from here, but I'm not going to change it. I'm going to use data conversion. Preview it, everything is fine, click OK, go to columns, make sure everything is mapped, and then click OK, and then we're going to connect it to the destination. Now we have to configure the destination. Double click on destination. We have to create a new connection. We have to navigate to the SQL server. So I'm going to do that. Click on new. Just remove this. Let me show you how I'm going to create a new connection. Click new. We have to get the server name. So easy. Go back to SQL server. Click on connect. Database engine. Copy the server name. And then go back to Visual Studio and paste it. Now we got the connection, but we have too many database. Which database we want to use? So since I already have SSIS test database, and then I'm gonna go in table and customers table. So go back again, navigate to the SSIS test the connection, test connection succeeded, click OK, OK, click OK. Now we're gonna navigate to the proper table. I already have one table in SQL Server. I don't have multiple tables yet. Click, select the proper tables, go to mappings, and then everything is mapped. We have to map. So this section, this column names come from the flat file, the TXT file, and this section comes from the SQL Server table. ID, because we have the same name. Let me show you. Click on the text file. I have ID here in a database. Okay, expand the customer columns. Let me show you. So here I have in a SQL Server destination, I have the ID, first name. In a source file, in a TXT file, I have ID but F name. It's just a little bit different syntax. So I have last name here, and state supposed to match the state here. So go back again. We just have to remap it. First name and last name. Everything is good. Click OK. Now we have the yellow triangle because of the length of the character. Because if you go back again, if you go back to advanced, the state it's set on 50, the length, and we have it in SQL Server, it's in 2 character. What we can do, I always use data conversion. Go back here and then drag and drop data conversion. We're going to convert the whole data, and then we're going to change the length. Break the connection, and then connect to the data conversion, and then convert it again, connect it to the OnlyDB destination. Double click on data conversion. We're going to convert all of them. Since we want to have the data types come from the source file match with the same data type in SQL Server. So we have in SQL Server, I have integer for the data type. First name varchar, which is string non-Unicode. Last name varchar, which is string non-Unicode, 100 for the length, and for the state character, another string too. So go back again. We're gonna change the ID to integer. You can have 2 byte sign, but I'm gonna have 4 byte signed integer. 4 byte signed integer. For the first name, last name, and state, we are okay. String, everything is good. We just have to change the length, because here we have 100, 102. Change the length to 100, and for the state, because it's 2 character, we're gonna have 2. And then after we convert it, we have new columns names. Now we have the output alias is gonna be a new name. That's the new name of the column that's been converted. So we have to map it again with OnlyDB destination. Click OK. Go back again to destination and mappings, and then we have to remap again. You can drag and drop from here. Drag copy of ID, or you can do it from here. Copy of the first name, copy of the last name, copy of the state. Click OK. Now everything is set. Go back again. We have to do it the same way with the CSV files. Double click on CSV files, and then drag and drop the flat file source, and then the same time we're gonna get the data conversion, and then only DB destination. So now just connect them. Now double click on flat file to navigate to the proper file. So click on new. We're gonna have a new connection. We're gonna call it CSV connection. We're gonna navigate to the proper file. Since we have text file, just click on CSV file. This is not gonna do nothing. You can just select all of them. From now you can just choose one of them, because we're going back to we're gonna use a for each loop, and then from there we're gonna decide we want which file we want to pull from, the CSV or the text file. Click on the CSV file, and then columns in the first name. Yes, we have. Right click here, make sure. So we have the column names is the first row. Back again, columns, advanced. We don't want to change it from here. We're going to change it from data conversion. Click OK. Map columns. OK. We're going to go to data conversion. We're going to convert the data again to integer 4 byte sign integer, and then the string. This is OK. We just have to change the length. 100 is going to be 2 here. Go back to destination, double click on destination. We already set the database, so we don't have to change it. If you want to have a different database, you can create a new database, but we are using the same database, SSIS test, and the same table, so we don't have to create a new connection. You also using the same table. Mappings, just you have to remap it again. Copy first name, copy last name, copy the state. Click OK. We're gonna do the same way with the Excel file, but the Excel file we're gonna use Excel source, not the flat file. Excel source, and then data conversion again. We're gonna convert the data, and then we're gonna get the only DB destination. Connect all of them, and then double click on the Excel source to configure it. We're gonna get a new connection. Then we're gonna navigate to the Excel file. We have the Excel file folder path here. Click on one of them, doesn't matter. And then first row has a column names. Yes. If you click on first one, if you click on any of the Excel file, yes, the first column name it's in the first row. Back again, click OK. We're gonna get how many which sheet we are using. So far we have only one sheet. We don't have multiple sheets. Only one sheet, which is the sheet 1. Back again. Click on the sheet. Choose the sheet, the proper sheet name, columns, everything good. Okay. Data conversion. We're gonna convert the data again. We're gonna convert the data for the ID. We're gonna use integer, 4 byte sign integer. And then for the state, first name, last name, and state, because it's Unicode, and we're gonna convert it to the non-Unicode string. Non-Unicode. That's string. That's non-Unicode string. Non-Unicode string. Non-Unicode. We're gonna change the length to 100, and then we're gonna have 2. Click OK. Double click on destination. And then we have to remap again. Choose the proper customer names, mappings, and then we're gonna go to copy first name, copy of last name, copy first name, last name, and state. Everything good. Click OK. We all set now. But now, if you're gonna execute the package, we're gonna load only one file, one from the TXT, one from the Excel, one from the CSV. But we wanna loop through all the files. We want to loop through all the TXT, and then all the Excel, and all the CSV files. So what we have to do here, we're gonna bring for each loop container to loop through. We're gonna drag. We're gonna use loop container 3 times, this one and the third one. So now drag and drop data flow task for the TXT file and then CSV files and then for the Excel files also. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna configure the for each loop. Double click on for each loop, collection. You can hard code it. We need to get the path here. Go back again, copy the path, the file path name, and then back again. You can hard code it, but don't want to hard code because in the future someone is going to change the file path. Someone is going to move the files to a different folder and it's going to be a different path. And every component you have in this package is associated with the path file. We're going to have a problem. So the easiest way, you have to change every single path in that component. So the easiest way, get the variable. We're going to call it a variable. Why we're going to use a variable? Because if you change the file path, change it whatever you want, copy it and then paste it in this section, and every component associated with the file path will change automatically. We're going to click here. We have to create a new variable. We're going to call it a file path. Since we have only one path for all the files, package, we're gonna change the data type to string and then it's gonna paste it here in this section. Paste it. Second. Okay, I have to copy a second. Copy the path again, go back again, and then click on variable. Sorry, we have to change the data type to string. I chose single, which is supposed to be string. Okay, so paste the path here, and then what we have to do, double click on the for each loop to configure it again. Collection, we are using for each file enumerator. We're gonna set the expression. We have to map the directory to the file path. Directory, expression, drag and drop the file path. Click OK, click OK. Here, what do you wanna pull? You wanna pull everything from the files, or you wanna pull only like specific folder, specific extension? We are pulling only the TXT files from this for each loop. So we're going to remove the asterisk. We're going to type TXT files, and then you want to get the full qualified or the name in the extensions. We don't want to get the full qualified. We want to get the name extension. Why? Because we want to load the file name and the row count. So we are interested in this scenario, name and extension. We're just gonna create, and then we're gonna save it. We're gonna save the name and the extension for this, for each file, for each loop, where we're gonna create a new variable. Click on variable mappings, and then we're gonna create a new variable. We're gonna call it file name. You know what? We're gonna call it TXT file name. The value type is going to be string. Click OK. Click OK. So now we are configured the for each loop. But if you run this, okay, let's do this here. Okay, so here we're almost done with the for each loop for the TXT file. But if we're gonna run the package now, what's gonna happen? The package is gonna loop 4 times on the same folder in the same file. So we're gonna have 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 times. We don't want to do that. We want to loop once every single file. So what we have to do again, go back to Visual Studio, and then the text connection, TXT connection, right click on TXT connection, properties, and then go to the expression, click on the expression, and then we have to get the property to connection string. Choose the connection string expression, and then we have to get the full file path. File path, that's mean you have the file path plus the file name and extension. So back again, we have the file path already, and then add plus double quote backslash double quote plus, and then the file name. Click OK, click OK. We're all set. We're all done for the for each loop for the TXT file. Let's go. Let's get the CSV file done. Double click on this TXT file and then click on connection the same way. Expression, directory, and then we are using the same directory. Click OK, click OK. We are interested in only the CSV files. So get rid of the asterisk. CSV files. We are interested in name and extension. Click on variable to save it. We're going to create a new variable. We're going to call it a CSV file name. Click OK, click OK, and then the same way go to the CSV file connection, right click, properties, expression. We have to get the connection string, expression, and then we're going to build the file full path, which is a file path plus double quote backslash double quote plus the CSV file name. Drag and drop. Click OK, click OK. We're all done. Let's do the Excel file. Double click on the Excel file for each loop. Connection. We're gonna do the same way. Property, but this time, okay, go directory, and then we're gonna drag and drop the file path. Click OK, click OK, and we are interested only in this for each loop only the Excel file, which is XLSX. That's the extension. So get rid of the asterisk, XLSX, and we are interested in the name and extension. Variable, we have to save the file name and extension. We're going to create a new variable. We're going to call it Excel file path, file name, sorry, Excel file name. Click OK, click OK, and the same way go to the Excel connection manager, right click, properties, and property, and then click on the expression. We have to get the Excel file path, not the connection string this time, because we have Excel file path. Expression, we're gonna build the file full path, file path plus double quote backslash double quote plus. Now we're gonna get the Excel file name. Click OK, click OK, and then because we have the red cross came up, so because of the delay validation, so right click on the Excel connection manager, properties, and we have to set the delay validation to false, to true, because the for each loop try to validate the data. We have multiple files, so in trying to validate the data, and we don't have, if you go back to variable for the file name, we don't have, the file name is not provided yet because we are using looping. Okay, so right click property, we set the property delay validation on true. The same way, click on the data flow task for Excel file, right click properties, set the delay validation to true again. So we're all done now. So if we run the package, let's see what's gonna happen. Go back again, run the query. Guys, I will suggest you what to do. I will say the easiest way, very easy, connect the packages. So I don't want to run the package, all of them, three of them at the same time. You can run 3 of them at the same time. What we're gonna do, connect the packages between, okay, so I'm gonna connect the first one to the second one, the second one to the third one. Why? So I want to run this package first, and then after completed, run the second package, and after that I'm gonna run the third package. So we're gonna have a sequence. We don't want to. I don't want to execute all the packages at the same time. Run the packages again. Execute the package. So the packages is all done now, successful. So what you have to do is stop the package, stop the execution, back to SQL Server, select all from customer. We're gonna see how many data we have. So now we got 33 rows. We got all the data here. Let's just select order by. Order by. Oh, sorry, I have to provide the ID, the order by ID. So here I have from 1. Sorry, just expand the ID from 1 to 1003. So I have 33 rows. Why I have 33 rows? Because I have, how many files I have? I have 11 files. I have 11 files, and each file has 3 rows. So you got 11 multiply 3, that's 33 rows. So now what's next? We want to save the file name. After we load the data to SQL Server, we want to load the name of the files and how many rows, how many, each file has rows, how many rows, 3, 4, 5, 6 each file. What we have to do here, let's go back again, and then we're just gonna get, we have to remove, let's remove the data, truncate table. Okay, so now we have to, I wanna create a new table. That table I'm gonna have that table, the name of the file and the record, the row count, how many rows in that table. So I'm gonna create a new table, create table. I'm gonna call it gonna be DBO. I'm gonna call it a file names and row count. So that's the name of the table. So what do I have in it? So I have to, I want to have I'm gonna have an ID. Let's just gonna have an ID, and the data type is gonna be integer, and then I want to have the identity. I'm gonna accept the what's that mean? Identity 1, comma, space 1, close. Identity mean I want to have the ID and identity. I want to say, like for example, if I have like 10 files, I want to start with the ID number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and then I want to increment by 1. So you can have 2. If you have 2 here, that's me gonna start from 2, 4, 6, 8, 2. So I want to start from 1 and increment by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 identity. So what I'm gonna do, comma, I'm gonna have a file name, the name of the file, the data type will be variable is gonna be varchar, is gonna be 100 for the length, and then I'm gonna have row count. The row count I'm gonna have integer row count, close parentheses. So we're done now. So now I'm gonna have ID. I'm interested in first name. I want to save the name of the files, and then I want to see how many rows in that files. Let's just create tables. Click OK. Complete successfully. Just select it. Select the table. Select all from DBO. We're going to select the table. Doesn't okay. Row count. Okay. Select the table. So I have ID first name and row count. So I want to insert those here. So what do I have to do? So how can I insert the first name to this column and the row count to this column? What do we have to do? We have to go back to Visual Studio, and then we're going to drag and drop execute SQL task on each one of them. Drag and drop, and then drag and drop here also. connect them. If you, let's double click on the first one. So we're going to call this execute insert. This is insert TXT. Okay, we're going to call it TXT insert. Yeah, TXT insert. We're going to call this CSV. I'm going to call the third one Excel insert. We're supposed to have like a proper name, which is TXT file names and row counts insert, but we are okay now. Double click on the first one. So what we have to do here? So we have to set the connection. We want to insert the data to where? To this table, to SQL Server table, and the SSIS database, and file names and row counts table. Back again, we have to set the connection. We already have the connection set up. If you have a different database, you can have a new connection. Click on the SSIS test database, and then we want to insert. How we're gonna insert them? Go back again. Let's just get an insert statement. Insert into DBO. We are interested into file names and row. File names and row. What do you want to insert? We want to insert the first name. I mean the file name. Sorry. File name and the row count. Close, and then what's the value? The value will be a question mark, comma, question mark, close parenthesis y, because I want to insert, so I want to map this question mark to the first name, the second question mark to the row count. Let's just copy this section. I'm going to show you how. Copy it, go back again, click in the SQL statement, paste it here. So I want to map the first question mark to the file name, so this is going to be 0, and then I want to map the second question mark to the row count, so this is going to be 1, so you have 0 and 1. Click OK, and then we have a problem now, because we're going to get the file names from where? We're going to get the file names from the for each loop, because we have the for each loop, we have a variable called text file name. But how we're going to get the row count? How are we going to get the row count from where? So let's go back again, double click on the data flow task, and then we have to drag and drop row count. I drag the row count here, but before we do that, we have to create a variable for the row count. Right click on variable, and then we have to create a new variable. We're just going to call it TXT row count, and then for the data type will be integer, because we are interested in a number. Row count is going to be integer. You want to have integer 16, 32 or 64 is okay. Click here, and then we have to break the connection between the data converting to OLIDB destination, and then connect it to the row count and connect. Okay, so and then double click on the row count, choose the variable, because Visual Studio, it's very smart software, so it just picks the row count automatically, because that's integer. Click, choose TXT row count, click OK, and then connect the row count again to destination. So we save the row count where? We save the row count in this variable TXT row count. So every time we are loading the data, that the row count will saved in the TXT row count. Go back again, and then double click on SQL execute statement, and then we have to get the statement again. Back again, copy it, back again, and then we're gonna set the connection again, sorry, and then we're just gonna paste it. So we're gonna point the first question mark to the file name, the second question mark to the row count. Click OK, and then go to parameter mapping. We have to map. Add, what do you want to map? We want to map the first name, TXT first name, and then the date type will be string, which is going to be a character, a varchar. And then for the parameter, we want to map to the zero, the first zero, which is the first question mark. And then add the second one for the row count. We want interested to the row count, and the row count will be long. Not supposed to be long, supposed to be integer, but we don't have choices here. You cannot, there is no integer here, so you just choose long is okay. And then for the parameter name, we're gonna choose one. So we have 0 and 1. Why? Because go back again, because the first question mark will be 0 mapped to the file name. The second question mark will be 1 mapped to row count. Click OK. Click OK. So we're all done. We have to do the same way with CSV files and for each loop container. I'm just gonna, okay, so let's go back again. Double click a CSV file, data flow task, and then create another variable for the row count. We're gonna call it CSV row count, and then it's going to be integer is okay. Click here, you drag and drop the row count here, break the connection, and then connect it again to the row count. Double click on row count and select the proper, we are selecting CSV row count now. Click OK, connect it back again to the destination, back again here, copy and paste the insert statement, back again to the execute. We're gonna get the connection again, and then the same way here, paste it. We're gonna map again, parameter mapping, and then we're gonna add. Click on add. We are looking for a file name, but this time it's gonna be CSV file name. Once you see the CSV file name now, the data type will be a varchar, and the parameter will be 0. You're starting from 0. And then the second one for the row count, we are interested in the CSV row count this time. CSV row count, and then will be long is okay, and then it's gonna be 1. Click OK, we're done. We have to do it the same way with the Excel file. Drag and drop for row count. We have to create a new variable. We're gonna call it Excel row count, and the data type will be integer is okay. Click here, break the connection, connect the data conversion to the row count, and then double click row count, and then we're going to choose Excel row count. Click OK, and then connect it back again to the destination, back here, back to the, then you're going to copy the insert statement back here, and then double click on the Excel insert. The connection will be the same connection using the same database. We're going to copy the statement, and then we're going to map again. Parameter mapping is again. We're going to map again the first name and the row count. We're going to have the first name. We're going to get Excel file name, and then it's going to be a varchar. And then for the parameter, we're going to have 0. We're going to map the first one. We're going to be 0. And then we're going to add for the row count, interesting, Excel row count. And then for the long, data type long is okay. We're going to get the 1. You can type 1. Click OK. So we're all done now. Let's go back again. Make sure we don't have data. And then we're going to select, let's just get rid of this. So now if you click OK, let me just get rid of this. So now I don't have, so select the two tables. customers and file names and content. I don't have nothing so far. Go back again. We're gonna run the package and look what's gonna happen. Start the package. You see guys, everything has been successfully. Everything run smoothly. Stop the package. Go back again. Select them. Okay, so now for the table we have 33 rows. Just expand it. And then for the row counts, I'm gonna show you. I have the file names with extension and I have the row count. Let's just go back again. Let me show you. We're just gonna drop the table. We're gonna truncate. I'm gonna truncate this table. Okay, I don't have data anymore. Let's go back again. What's gonna happen? Let's go back and add a couple columns. Let's go with the first name. We're just gonna add a couple columns here. This is gonna be let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Change the state. Okay, so we have 4 here, and let's go with the Excel files. We're just gonna add a couple columns here. Let's just add those columns. I mean rows. Gonna change this, any number. Just close this. So we have 5 here. We have 5 rows and we have 4 rows here. Let's just execute the package again. See that everything successfully. Go back again. Select it. Select it. We have 37 rows because we added 4. We added 3 rows. Sorry. See that? That's the new added. So and then for the row counts. 4. Look. We have the first file we added 1 row was 3, now it's 4, and for the CSV file we have 3, we added 3, so we had 4 rows, total of 4 rows. If you want, what are you gonna do again? There is another bonus. You can drag and drop. We're all done now, guys. We done. That's it. We done. But for the bonuses, if you want, we can add the script task here. So what we have to do here, so guys, like you want to get you want to see the name of the file and the row count, you can just do drag and drop the script task inside. Let's see here, inside the for each loop for the text file, connect it, double click on it, and then you want to use if you know how to use Visual Basic, I'm going to use C#. I'm going to select the variable names, so I am interested to select the file name. Okay, so let's go to user. I'm going to be interested to get the file, the name of the text file, and then row count. Click OK, and then we're going to go edit script. We have to add script for the file name and the row count. So right here, add script, message box dot show. Hold on a second, there's some problem. Sorry. Message box dot show, open parentheses, DTS dot variables, and then open brackets. We're gonna get the name we're gonna get the name of the file, name of the variable. So we have open double quote user, and then colon, we got TXT file name, and then double quote, close the bracket, dot value to shrink, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, another parenthesis, and semicolon, the same way. Okay, so we're getting the semicolon, not the colon. So, and the same way here, message box dot show, open parentheses, DTS dot variables, and then open bracket, we're gonna get the name of the variable user, colon, and then we got TXT, oh sorry, we get the TXT, TXT row count, double quote, close the bracket, value dot value to string, open close parenthesis, another parenthesis, and semicolon. So we're gonna test it, build it, has been successful. So we're just gonna get the name. So we have this is alright, text TXT file name, TXT row count, save it, we close it, we're just gonna get the TXT file name, TXT row count. So we click OK, go back and clear, make sure everything is clear, we don't have data inside. Run the package now, execute the package. So we got the first one, it was a customer one. First one, it's a customer one. The second one, it's a customer two. Click on two, you got 4 rows. You got customers 3 rows, customer 4, 3 rows. Again, we're all done. So everything has been successfully. Go back again. Select it. We got 37 rows here. We got 37 rows. And for the names also, we get the ID. We got all the name of the files and the rows, the row counts here. Thank you very much, guys, and have a nice day.